Hopefully that's better. Hopefully you can hear me now. Good call. And this is why you're supposed to run checks on everything, but after a long weekend, sometimes that just slips. I think it's probably because my RTX just wasn't activated. How's it going, Fury? How's it going, Deal 2A? All right, there we go. RTX is on. Everything should be working. All I was saying, all we've done so far, guys, is I've taken a look at tip ranks here, and this is not looking great to start off the month. Okay, let's take a look here. Futures are kind of sideways. S&P is down a little bit. I wonder how RSX is doing. Kind of sideways. No, Fury, it's not accurate. So one of the things with tip ranks is it you can't retroactively add things in, and so I wasn't aware of that when I got started. I put in all of the positions that I had held throughout the year, and when it does this, it enters the price from the moment that you enter them, instead of giving you that ability to say, okay, well, in January I picked this up at this price, and then I sold at this price. And so I put in every trade that I had made up until that point in March when I started using the tool. Um, and instead of it allowing me to put in the initial entry that I had, it gave me the entry as of that date. And that caused many of those plays to come up as a loss instead of a win. So the success rate on there is not accurate. Now, that being said, even with that success rate, if I was to look up the top experts in the sector that I trade in, 70%, like this lady rocks it. 60, 52, 54, but like here, top five, 44% is in there, right? Um, 47, 45, 45, 44, 39. So, I mean, like, this is not good morning, Saki. How did your job thing go, man? This is really tall for some reason. Um, what is up, Ajax? Yeah, guys. So then it's showing 44%. I'm okay with that. Um, good, Saki. I hope that goes well. Um, Also, guys, if you look at the portfolio that I've got on here, which is the main reason why I've got this up, is uh, if you look at my portfolio, I'm currently holding. This is a Q4 play. This is a Q4 play. This is whenever it goes. There's no real time on this, but uh, with that curve that's going on, I'm okay to hold this for a little bit longer. Q4 play. Well, I mean, this could be any day, but it's looking like it's going to be Q4. DGOY, this is a hold play, right? iPix is a Q4 play. MBRX is a Q2 2021 play. MFA is a hold forever play. BlackBerry is a hold forever play. USO is a hold forever play. Mallinckrodt is a Q4 play. So all of these here, guys, ALNA. Um, yeah, so let's break down. Let me just get my notes open here, and let's break down why I'm in CYDY. Um, so CYDY, my play on this is actually fourfold. So, CYDY there, leronlimab has been flagged as a potential COVID play. Um, it's case by case. ATRX is going to be more on news and less on financial results, I think. So that one I won't have to wait for the earnings. Actually, most of them I don't. ETM, I may have to wait till Q1 2021 for the Q4 earnings, but otherwise, I don't think I will. Um, yeah, ACRX is going to be the tough one for me. That even when it goes, it continues to build value over the years. So, um, I mean, there's always another play. So even when it does go, I could take a look at swapping out, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes for sure. Um, yeah, so CytoDyn guys, their lead drug candidate has been flagged for COVID possibilities. They've been fast tracked. They've got accelerated approval in the UK. The UK's branch of what would be the FDA has flagged it for that. It's not currently part of the Warp Speed initiative. Um, we're supposed to get updates on the 9th for their UK health approval. Um, and today they meet with the FDA regarding their HIV approval. Uh, so the leronlimab looks like a single treatment HIV. So it's got COVID, it's got HIV, it's got fast track designations on both. On top of that, they've already submitted. Let's see what that is. Um, where is it? Uplisting. They filed to uplist from the OTC. So right now they're OTC guys. They are a over-the-counter pink sheet stock. They have filed an application to uplist to the Nasdaq. which would be huge for them. Huge. So you've got HIV fast track. You've got COVID that's been approved and fast tracked in the UK. Probably we'll see something similar happen in the US if the UK gives it that final wink and the nod tomorrow. Um, you have a company that's uplisting to the Nasdaq. And the fourth reason I really, really like CYDY guys is the CEO. Most pharma companies, guys, you don't hear anything from the CEO for months and months and months and months. They go silent, and it drives me a little bit nuts sometimes. Where in the tech sector you have CEOs regularly, just especially guys like Musk, right? That are constantly out there. They're poking, they're prodding, they're setting out news, they're doing all kinds of great things as far as that goes. So um, drives me a little bit nutty that we don't see that same level of communication from bio companies. CYDY, they do a weekly call. They get a boost because one, going from OTC to NASDAQ means that the market makers will fill your orders. There's no requirement for them to do that when it's on OTC. So there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to sell your holdings on OTC. You may just be stuck with it because nobody will fill the order. Um, on the NASDAQ, they'll fill the order. There's market makers on there that are adjusting the prices by pennies, up and down, to gauge the value of the stock. So on the Nasdaq, you will get a fill. It may not be at price, but you'll get a fill. Also, when you're on the Nasdaq, there's just more money there watching that, right? There's a lot of people that have a rule of I will not touch OTC. So less people breaking rules. So for me, the price point that I have on CYDY, it's a difficult one because it depends on certain things that happen over the next little bit here. But if they get their NASDAQ listing, let's say everything goes the way that I would like it to, right? NASDAQ listing, HIV approval from the HIV approval from the FDA, and then their COVID gets approved in the UK and the US. I see CYDY somewhere around $26. Now, let's say they don't get COVID approval and it's just the HIV and the NASDAQ uplisting. Let's say that that's closer to, I'd say $18. Let's say they don't get the NASDAQ approval. I would say it's probably like $8. The NASDAQ approval is the big thing. But we'll see what happens with it. All right, let's see what else is going on. That's Cytodine though. Okay, phase 3 trials are showing positive data for asthma on Sanofi's drug, so that'll be worth taking a look at today. COVID vaccine is low cost for that's really low cost for this vaccine. Really low cost. I think that Moderna was talking the $60 range. So that's a crazy price point on that. Beyond Meat, guys, is one that I have been bullish on. Continue to be bullish on as we head into the new year. Swine flu is still going on. We're just not hearing about it. As well, we are also like that Beyond Meat over here. With the meat shortage going on in Asia, guys, as well as Tyson and local plants having a hard time keeping up here in the States. Uh, for me, cross border transit has definitely locked down as well. We're not seeing the same kind of flow. Beyond looks like a really solid play here, guys. Now, I personally am not a consumer. I'm not a fan of the product. However, just because I'm not a fan of a product does not mean that there's not a play there. Um, so GameStop is a brand that I'm not a fan of personally. I don't. It's not somewhere I shop. It's not something I would use. However, I was bullish on GameStop up to the $8 mark. They're there. I'm not really bullish on them beyond that, but I like GameStop and what it was. As far as financials, Beyond Meat for me is much the same. Now they're much stronger financially. They may be overvalued a little bit at $1.25, but we'll see. I think down the road they do have potential to be a much larger company. Yeah, the crazy thing is, more and more people are just giving it a try at this point because it is so much cheaper. Okay, J&J gets an approval for a dual combo leukemia drug in the yeah, so in Europe. This is interesting. So Dr. Reddy's Laboratories announces the launch of a fulvestrant injection. It's a generic of Faslodex. It's a breast cancer drug. Also with tip ranks, guys. Tip ranks is just my equity portfolio. You cannot put options in there, so I do have some options holdings. I do my best trying to show you guys which options I'm currently holding and playing in. I want you guys just to have that transparency of these are things that I actually have skin in the game on versus here's kind of what we're thinking and looking at. What's up, Smash Ice? Just open it up here. Yeah, so here are the holdings. This ACRX 215 call for the end of September, I'm pretty sure is scrap. So this started with 500 at the start of the year, guys. It's doubled in value since, which I'm okay with. I know there's a lot of people that double their options portfolio daily. Great. That's not how I play. For me to double in a year, I'm happy with that. But I think that this is going to go much further than that. Uh, I do have ACRX 250s for September. This, unless the joint formulary comes through before September 18th, this won't hit. But if it does come through, this may still be profitable. But it's not really a huge deal for me. WPRT, I am hoping that by mid October. Yeah, it's not sustainable. But there are people that would look at an options portfolio doubling in a year and be like, that's nothing. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Um, WPRT guys, this is me waiting on that news from Asia. Currently, WPRT is kicking around the $1.66 range. So, it's got a little bit of ways to go here. If that news about China coming our way high in China comes out, though, this thing will easily crush through that $4 mark. This thing will shoot up in value. ETM into Q4 with news about election spending, ad spending, and podcast spending being up. This stock, I think, is going to start to really move towards this $4. Who knows if it actually hits or not? But for the price, I was willing to take a shot on it. AZN at 85 into January. That's on them getting approved on their COVID drug Q3, Q4. I think that this really does have the room to run. It is profitable right now where it is, but I think that there's more room for it to move towards that 85 mark as we get closer and closer to January. So for me right now, really this again, you'll see that there's a lot of similarities in my trading style, whether it's equity or options, where I'm not trading options on the daily, on the weeklies, not even on the monthlies. I'm trading out into October, December, January, exactly where my equity is, right? I think I'm going to continue to play options in that manner where I'm looking 2-3 quarters out. I just find that it works out more profitably for me in the long run. That's a problem. Why can't I get into my dashboard? Oh, it's because I have a new. Okay, blast. I gotta update that sometime today. Okay, Boeing in trouble again, guys. Boeing is really just taking hit after hit after hit on this. Uh, so not only are they having the 737 Max, it's trifecta. Hey man, how's it going? Boeing. No, this is, I don't know about Trump's comments on Boeing. Trump is actually uh, popping in and sorry. too many things at once here, and we are just getting the brain firing. Um, Boeing is having the issue with the 737 MAX approval. They still can't get that done, and now the issue is even after the 737 MAX comes through, you're not going to see orders just pick up like that. Airlines aren't buying. Airlines are canceling their orders left, right, and center. Even if they supply the army. So this is one of the ones that's really hard for me, guys, because they do have a slight Saudi backing and they have army contracts. My issue with that is army contracts alone will not support the infrastructure that Boeing has built, which means they either have to choose to scale back from the massive thing that they were and just become a military focused company, or they have to find a way to make this profitable real quick. Now, this hurts. Production problems on their 787 factory in South Carolina. FAA is going to review the quality control lapses. It's, this is not what Boeing wants. Boeing cuts corners, guys. We saw that with the 737 MAX. I had suggested the FAA was going to make this move back when they started to shut down on the 737 MAX, that they would look at these other ones, the 777, 747, 787. They would take a look at these other factories, because if they're cutting corners in one, chances are they're cutting corners in a whole bunch of them. So they're going to start reviewing the 787s, and I'm almost positive that you are going to see Boeing take a hit here. Boeing is going to get caught doing something they're not supposed to. There's an unusual move in late August by Boeing voluntarily telling airlines to ground 8 of their 787s for immediate repairs. I think they have to. I really do. Okay, so yeah. I mean, there's not much substance in that. His remarks regarding the Pentagon just wanting to pump. Um, all right. I mean, is he wrong? Trifecta. This is his modus operandi. What are you talking about? This is what Trump does. Oh, is the dust settling? Let me just kick it up. Kick the dust up. Well, that's a first. This is the first time in months I've opened up Twitter and Trump is not trending in the morning, unless this is about Trump. I don't know. Is that it's interesting how the headlines twist something like that, right? Because when Obama said he wanted to pull the soldiers out of that area, he was given a Nobel Peace Prize. But when Trump says it, he's an instigator. You see what I mean? Like exact same thing of should the troops still be there? Yes or no? AMD dying on the new Apple news. Okay, so we'll break that down. I just want to check and see here. Lululemon guys would be the only one. Maybe Slack. Lululemon and Slack would be the only earnings I want to watch after hours today. Um, Trump is looking to decouple the U.S. from China. Companies that outsource to China won't get federal contracts. That's interesting. He would support ending the stream pipeline in Russia if the poisoning is true. Devon Tech, should you short Tesla? What do you think? All right, well, first of all, what do you think? What do you think Tesla is about? Tesla is a what company? What do they make? Tesla is a meme generator. Okay, we've got one answer on the board. Tesla is a meme generator. Anybody else? Tesla is a short. Okay. Oh, they make short shorts. That's true. They do make sexy short shorts. Okay, so Devin nailed it. Love that answer. These other guys are just being memers, and I love it. Yeah, Tesla is an energy company. The infrastructure that they've built, he's taken a page out of somebody who's very familiar to the past, and that is, at least for us Canadians, you guys will know. Let me just search him real quick here. I'm sure even you Americans have heard of this guy, right? Alexander Graham Bell. You guys know who this is? Guy invented the phone line, right? Okay, well, up here in Canada, he created a little known company called Bell Canada. Okay, Bell is the largest telecommunications provider in Canada. And back when Bell created the phone, he did this thing where he went, oh, well, the phone is no good without the infrastructure, right? Absolutely no good without the infrastructure. So what he did was he proceeded to look at Canada and go, okay, well, Canada's a big old country, right? So what happens if all across Canada I build the phone lines? I'm going to build the phone lines from one end of this country to the other, and that way people will have to use Bell phones. And that was true for decades, almost a century. People used Bell because Bell had the infrastructure. They built the phone lines. They built the system that the phone was used on. And to this day, a lot of resellers, a lot of stuff is built. He invent hockey. No, did not invent hockey. Though Scots did invent hockey in Canada. Uh, but he did invent the infrastructure, and that led to one of the largest telecommunications magnates in the world. Now, he was able to do that because the infrastructure was in place to make that happen. Now, you look at Ford down in the States, right? Ford originally had a hard time selling us vehicles because they didn't operate well on these roads, on the dirt roads that were built for horses, not for cars. So as streets started to upgrade and people built the infrastructure of roads and highways, what you got is this ability to now sell more and more cars. So Ford invested in the infrastructure. It led to this amazing thing. You better believe that Ford lobbyists were all over the interstate projects as the country was considering those. What we're looking at here, guys, with Tesla is Tesla charging network. Tesla has spent the last 5 years building a massive expansion of charging stations. He has built an infrastructure. This is what makes him of value. Is a massive infrastructure that he has built without needing massive approval, but he owns this infrastructure. This is my issue when companies like Nikola, yeah, Ford since has not been run by a genius, but companies like Nikola don't have this infrastructure built in. They don't. Oh, well, you can charge anywhere. You can charge at your home. You can charge on the road. Oh, really? Is that how that works? That these giant diesel trucks Nikola's building can charge anywhere? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to need charging stations. And I guarantee you, the map for charging stations in Nicola's Corner is nowhere near this. This infrastructure is the key, because what this also allows people to do now is now you actually have this massive green energy buildup, right? A lot of these Tesla charging stations, guys, if not all of them, are solar powered. He's got massive Tesla batteries that are solar powered on them. He's created a solar network across the continental U.S. Hawaii has actually got some too. So across the U.S., Mexico, Canada. Now Canada is a little more sparse, except for the major population centers, but here it is. This is the value of Tesla. So if you understand the value of an infrastructure, I know this is a long answer to a short question, but I just want to give you guys the full rundown on what I'm thinking with Tesla and why I consider it to be of value moving ahead. People are like, oh, it's up on the day, it's down on the day. That's not what you're playing here, guys. In 5 to 10 years, this network is priceless. It's priceless. You cannot price in the value of having the United States locked down on an infrastructure. Now, what I'd love to see would be I can't rotate this map or move this map. China. All right, folks. This is next. He's going to start building cars over here. If he's selling Teslas, believe he's going to start building networks over here, right? Yeah. Full disclaimer, guys, I don't offer financial advice. I just give you my opinion on this, okay? So I'm going to throw that in there. There's the disclaimer. But I mean, look over here. Look at Europe. He already has the network built over here. You can see he's got a little bit here in Japan, a little bit in South Korea. China, he's just getting started. He's in Shanghai. He's all over Taiwan. There's huge opportunity here. And as he builds out this network, believe he's going to keep going this way. He's going to go into India. He'll go into maybe the Middle East, maybe not. But Europe is covered. Yeah. So, guys, this has to be one that you're putting your long term positions in. Okay. This has to be something that you are going. Okay. Well, where is Tesla today? Tesla is at. Okay, Tesla is 400 a share right now. Okay. Yeah, the power grid exactly. So Tesla for me is spend the $400 today. If you spend it, right? It'll triple in value over 10 years. Is that enough for you? 300% gain? 300% gain. People are like, wow, it's still going down. Okay, sure. But if you got it at 400, let's say you bought it at 418, right? You bought it at 418. Like, oh no, it's down to 377. I lost $50 a share. Yeah, that sucks. But to be honest, in 10 years, you're going to have tripled your money. So is that really a huge deal? Well, it depends. It really depends on your trading strategy. And this is why it's so crucial, guys, for you to really nail that down. What is your trading strategy? Are you trading on the year, the decade? Are you trading on the month, the week, the day, the hour, the tick? What are you trading? For me right now, with the growth portfolio that I'm building, I'm on a 6 to 18 month schedule. As I grow my portfolio out, I'm hoping to grow that into an 8 to 18 schedule, right? I'm looking at more a year to 2 years, and then I want to move that from a year to 5 years, and then I want to build into a 5 to 10 year portfolio. And the idea is to take the portfolio as it builds size and growth into a longer and longer hold, where no longer are you concerned with the daily in and out and what's going on in the market every day. You just are holding solid stocks that are going to retain their value over a long period of time. Stocks like Costco, Disney, AT&T, T-Mobile, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, um, Amgen, Biogen, J&J, Procter and Gamble, um, Walmart, right? These stocks are going to last. They're going to be around. They're not going anywhere. Short of everything going belly up, and then you're screwed anyway. So what are you going to do? Australia signs a deal with AstraZeneca. That's good news. That's a kind of a cool thought. Next Virgin Galactic spaceflight will be October 22nd, guys. So right now, maybe a buy the dip opportunity with space. Where's space today? Space is at 16. Um, this actually looks really good right now. I wonder what the space. Hmm. I really need to be able to open my dashboard here, and I can't do that unless I go get uh, my debit card. So I will be right back, guys. I'm gonna take a quick break here, grab some water. We're 45 minutes in anyway. So if there's anything you guys want me to take a look at today, just throw it in chat. I'll do my best. I'll take down some notes here. We'll break down some of the stuff that you guys are watching. But for now, let's pop this up. Pop this up. Yikes. Okay. And we'll do this. And I'll be right back. All right. Leak debit card. We're all friends here. Yeah, I trust you guys. No problem. My debit card number is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. It it's just it is that it. Space at 15 is a great buy. Space at 40 is not. Uh, so that initial hype that it had running to 40 was a bit of a joke, but believe that the next space run is she's gonna come. Now it's gotten some pumps off of Tesla's space program, but I think there's a lot more potential for it in its own launches. So, yeah, I think that this is a great short term play here, knowing that this flight is happening in October. It's less affected by the weather than uh, the SpaceX flights. Yeah, I'm with you. It would be a play just into that date for me, or up to that date. I would not. It's not something I consider a long term hold at the moment. By the way, guys, huge shout out to Restream. I couldn't keep up with all you crazy chatters from all over the place, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever, without them. So please give them a check it out. They make live streaming super easy. If you guys have never done live streaming, if you're looking to get into live streaming, I highly recommend Restream. It's fast, it's easy, really user friendly. I'm a big fan. That's why I reached out to them for sponsorship. It's a tool I use every day anyway. Really like what they're doing. Really like what they're about. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's the spiel. So what I want to do here is actually head here, and we'll take this down, and we'll go here, and let's check out this. That's there. Okay, and I want to do space. The 2250s or the 2150s for October 23rd are looking really good. All right, but that's space. All right. What other news do we have here? Okay, so guys, this is big for one of the positions that I'm in. It's regarding podcast spending. We're seeing podcast ad dollars flow back in, as well as we head into election. That's a season where people kind of expect those ad dollars to be there, and people were questioning whether or not that's going to happen. It looks like people are dumping their ad budget into the end of this year. Typically, with ad budgets, guys, at a corporate level, you are given a certain budget every year, and if you spend it, great, you usually get the same or a little bit more the next year to spend. If you don't spend it all, you usually expect to see your budget reduced. So what we've got right now is this massive ad budget that needs to be spent before the end of the year so you can get more ad money the following year. And I think that with the first, 2 quarters essentially being a wash and we're heading into election, expect ad prices to skyrocket. So what we're looking at as far as that goes as big plays for some companies that would benefit. Let's make a list here. Watch list. Let's create a watch list here. We'll scrap this. Watch list. New portfolio. We'll call this one ad spend. Okay, and let's edit the portfolio. Scrap this. Scrap this. I think we need to have something in here, so we're going to start with ETM. Get rid of the VBLT. Okay, so let's do some brainstorming here. What are some companies that are going to benefit greatly from ad spend? Well, you're going to see TV networks, right? So we're going to see Fox. We're going to see NBC. Well, Fox. Uh, we're going to see CBC. Twitter, Snap. Yeah, Twitter, Snap, Facebook. Uh, Pinterest. We're going to see Spotify. Yep. We're going to see Google. Verizon. Why Verizon? Walk me through Verizon a little bit. It's not I'm saying no. I just want to wrap my head around it a little bit. Verizon owns Yahoo. Um, Ad spend on those platforms typically doesn't drive up, but they won't run political ads the week before. But it's not just political ads, right? Um, yeah, it's not just political ads that we're talking about. It's ad spend in general is going to go through the roof as we head into Christmas and the season. So the week running up to the election, Facebook did say that they weren't going to do that, but that leaves them plenty of time. Um, All right, so this is looking pretty solid. I'm just trying to think who else is going to benefit from ad spend. Publicly traded companies that benefit from ad spending. I was thinking Disney, but yeah, this is saying Google and Facebook, so that's a no-brainer. This is saying Verizon. All right, all right. Verizon goes on. Okay, what else they got? IAC. We got Twitter. It's saying Microsoft because of Bing. Um, the streaming service doesn't have ads. They do have ads on. I mean, it's not really a strong ad play. I don't think. Disney is more of an ad spender, less of an ad money maker. Um, AMC with holiday flicks, that's a different play. That's not advertising dollars. And given the numbers that I'm seeing coming out of the box office right now, I'm not. Yeah, that's true. Hulu and okay, okay, yeah. From that, you're right. Exile, I see it. I see it from there. All right, I'll throw them in on that because ESPN is going to be big money as far as sports spending. Um, okay, Google's too expensive. Doesn't need to be in this. Um, um, it's the effort that matters, trifecta. This is saying 10 cent, and I really don't. Mm, Baidu. I like Baidu. I like Baba. All right. I think that's a pretty solid portfolio that we've got there, guys. So Alibaba, Baidu, Disney, ETM, Facebook, Fox, IAC, Microsoft, Pinterest, Snapchat, Spotify, Twitter, and Verizon. YouTube wants to save closed captions because abuse. Heard this one? Sorry, this is a tangent. Oh, wants to axe. Um, So what they're talking about axing, guys, is the community contributed closed captions. They're not looking to close closed captions altogether. And this is a misconception. So I am a YouTube partner. We did get notified of this. Everything that they sent us is now public. What they're looking to do, guys, is close community contributed closed captions. So the auto closed caption tool will still be there. The creators themselves will be able to put closed captions onto their video, but community contributed closed captions will no longer be available, which means that you can't just have the community creating a closed caption file and giving it to you for your video. And what was happening with this was you take somebody that has a serious channel like DeFranco, and everything would be well and good because his community is one that's trying to do good things and say good things. But take a community like PewDiePie, right, which is a little bit more, we'll say, stock guy esque, right, where it's not a mature community. They're there to meme and be goofballs. Well, they put in some, we'll say, questionable stuff into community contributed closed captions. So that's what they're eliminating. And that's not a huge deal for me. They're not saying we're getting rid of closed captioning altogether. What they're saying is we're getting rid of community contributed closed captions. Creators themselves can put closed captions on, and Google will continue to use their AI to produce closed captions. And when you tell people that, they all breathe a little bit and go, oh, okay, well, that's fine. That's not a problem then. People read the headline, they don't do the due diligence, right? So I actually really like this portfolio. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go drive, and we're gonna do a new sheet. And I'm gonna move this portfolio over here so I can just type it quick. Stock price. $1,000 per holding. Okay. Baba, Baidu, Disney, EDM, Facebook, Fox, C, Microsoft. Yeah, the media would. No crap, I still need that up. Okay, so Baidu is 122.87. Disney is 131.99. Dollar 59. 282.73. 27.76. All right. There it is. There's the ad spend portfolio, ladies and gentlemen. What else are we doing today? What else are we watching? What are we doing today? Somebody said AMD, right? You want me to take a look at AMD? Lung cancer. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. 79 pre-market. I think this is a $100 stock, guys. I honestly, I think there's 20% gains on this. Whether that happens over the next quarter or the next year, this goes up to $100 in my mind, at least. So I mean, it's a 20% gain. No, I'm just. I don't think there was a question on AMD. People were saying, okay, well, it's down. I mean, sure, it's down, but look at this growth. Like, forget this pump up to 100 here, but look at this growth. $30 as of last year. Now it's up at 80. I think this is 100 easy. I think this is an easy 20%. And guys, just a reminder, right? Set your own targets for the year. But for me, what I'm looking at is, um, oh, that's a great question. And I do want to, I'll tackle Waiter here in a second. Because this is one that is starting to lose attention again, which makes it very appealing for me. Um, um, yeah, so the SPY guys. I want you to look at the SPY growth for the year. Okay, so 298, and currently we're sitting at 342. Okay, so that's a 14.7% gain. It could go higher than 100, but let's just say it goes to 100, right? It goes to 100 from the 79 it's out right now. That means that you're seeing 25% gains. You would beat the SPY for the year. I'm not talking options plays. I'm talking equity. Equity positions in this over the next 12 months stand to gain 25%. The SPY is offered 14. You would beat the SPY over the year. The majority of funds, the majority of professional traders don't beat the SPY consecutively year over year. Just this position in AMD for the year will take you beyond what the SPY is offering on returns. Just throwing that out there. I don't know what your portfolio is looking like for the year, but 25% gains. Think about going to the bank and getting these people that are told, oh, just go to the bank, stock market's too risky, just go to the bank and get yourself a high interest savings account, okay? Best high interest savings accounts in Canada. 2.5. So 2.5% with Tangerine. Okay? Yeah, there's so much good. They have their next gen systems coming out. AMD is powering all the next gen systems. Like 2.5% or 10 times that with just an AMD position, right? 2.5% with a $57 down. Okay, so add 30 more dollars, right? You're going to put 57 bucks into this high interest savings account because it's safe. Okay? Go ahead, add 30 more dollars, grab one share of AMD, and you will make 10 times. You stand to make 10 times what you would have made on this. Guys, this mentality that the stock market is inherent risk is ludicrous to me. It's just ludicrous. Are there risks? Absolutely. If you play it like a complete degenerate, but if you treat it like a banking system instead of a lottery system, it defunks a lot of this crap. Yeah. Now, 25% gains are not enough for me. I'm looking for something that's got a bit more than that, a little bit more milk than that. But I like AMD, man. This is a buy the dip. In my opinion, that's a buy the dip. Woocash, Rampage 7250. Thanks so much for the follows, guys. Much appreciate that. Smash Ice. You continue to rock it with the subscription, guys. I'm just happy to hang out with you guys. That you're here at all doing this nonsense with me at this time of day is appreciated. It keeps my wife from giving me those crazy looks like, why are you talking to yourself? I will be speaking at the South Africa Innovation Summit at the end of the month here, guys. Really, really excited for it. It'll be the first time I get to speak to the African continent at an official event, so pretty pumped. Trifecta, things have stuff to do, man. Things have stuff to do. Dipper Cliff. I mean, guys, again, again, if you are sincerely concerned about a stock, okay, you're saying it's a cliff, take a look at the year. Zoom out. This is the problem. This is where everybody's looking right now, okay, man? Everybody is looking at this chart one day. Some of you are not complete degenerates. You'll look at a 5-day chart. How's it doing over the week? Oh no, look at the cliff. It died. Oh, it's terrible. Okay, well, let's look at the month. Man, that's oh wait, not so bad because we started the month at 83 and right now we're at 79. So I mean, it's not really that big of a deal when you look at a month. Okay, well, let's look at 6 months. 48. Holy cow, we're crushing it. You know what I mean? So perspective, guys, have that perspective. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, these old adages, guys, of buy the rumor, sell the news. Be fearful when those are greedy. Be greedy when people are fearful. These things don't. These sayings haven't come around, and they're not memes. These things came around after hundreds of years of trading. From the European markets over to yeah, they come from stockies, chat. All I'm saying is, um, zoom out before you lose your mind. Yeah, exactly. That's a direct quote from Buffett. Followed by this one here is my other all-time favorite. All right, I know you guys can't hear my jams, but I want to share this. This how do I share this? I want to share the song. I can't play it for you because I don't want to get this DMCA'd, but it is a killer cover of a classic song, guys, and I highly recommend if you like the jazz, if you like it smooth, check it out. Exile, that's funny. You're all good, Exile. That it was a. Would you also hold ACB? You know what? Okay, so huge disclaimer before we go into this, guys. Okay, huge disclaimer. What we're looking at here is in regards to ACB. How long are we talking the hold? Right? That's a big question to ask. It's a big question to ask because ACB right now, okay, this is the potential it has, okay? So realize this 77 to 50 range is where it was when people thought it was going to be a big industry. Now, right now at $8, okay? 8.50. You buy ACB. Are you willing to hold it for 8 years? If you are willing to hold ACB for 8 years, there's 100x potential on this. Those two crush it. So Sam Cooke is a genius of jazz. Like the man just had it. But this father son duo are unbelievable. Right. So what I'm trying to get at here, guys, is I'm not saying it's a today. I'm not saying it's a tomorrow. I'm not saying all in ACB. What I'm saying is, if you are willing to wait, well, I mean, if you think that the Democrats are going to win the next election, you're waiting less than 8 years, right? You're waiting months. But if the Democrats win, ACB goes to the moon. If the Democrats lose this election, Trump will be out and the Democrats will win the next one, which is 4 years. So it's not even 8, it's 4, right? Flipped and shift all in ACB. Yikes! Yeah, don't do that. Do your due diligence, understand the company, yada 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 yada. But this is the playground where it wants to live. This 50 to 80 range, and at 850, if the Dems win this election, pot will be legalized federally in the states. You will see ACB soar. If the Democrats don't win this one, you know they're going to win the next one. So it's a buy the dip opportunity. You hold for 4 years. Let's say you hold for 4 years. It goes from $8 to, let's say it goes to 70. Okay, it goes back to that 70 line. I mean, you will have almost 10x it over 4 years, which means if you're going to have a 10x gain over 4 years, that means you're going to have a 2.5 gain, right? So you're going to have a 250% gain year over year on that. Voting is in October. ACB is not selling weed in the EU. International shipping is a bit of a problem. Guys, with ACB, and it's not just ACB, it's the pot industry. Take your pick of the pot companies that are out there. But the reality is this. If the Dems win in October, November, what you're going to see is a massive spike on pot stocks across the board. Absolutely massive spike on pot stocks across the board. Yeah, renewable energy is a little bit more expensive though, because most of those energy companies are already fairly high. TAN would be the ETF that you're looking to play on that. Pot stocks have been beaten down because the Canadian market is not what people were expecting, whereas the U.S. market's big money. So, Waiter, right? Waiter. Let's do a breakdown on Waiter here because I said we were going to do that. So, guys, Waiter. What is the difference between Waiter and Grubhub? The difference is on the last 2 quarters of this year, Waiter has been profitable. So I started looking at Waiter in early March. Initial spike from 31 cents up to 260, came back down. Waiter went back up again. Second quarter earnings of being profitable. Another quarter of being profitable, shot up to 560. I had this at $8, guys. That it's back down to 365 makes this extremely appealing to me, both on an options play and on a equity play. There's money here. This company has built itself differently than Grubhub. It's built it differently than DoorDash, than Uber Eats. Uber Eats, all of them, all of those big players, they're fighting for market share in LA and New York. That's been their focus. Waiter started small, built up slowly. across the southern states. It stayed local, it felt local, it was local, people use it local, and it's been profitable as a result of that. Slowly scaled based off of profitable growth, as opposed to Uber and everybody else that threw a pile of money at this and is not seeing the same level of returns, and they're not profitable as a result. So what we've got now is people are saying, well, Uber's being carried by Uber Eats. Bullcrap. They're not making money on Uber Eats. They are burning money on Uber Eats, just trying to stay ahead of the game. Same thing with DoorDash. Same thing with Grubhub. These guys just aren't extremely profitable companies. Now, do they make more money than Waiter does? Absolutely. I can't argue that. They make more money because they spend more money. Um, but I will take a company that is consistently profitable quarter after quarter after quarter and showing good growth into an emerging market over a company that has a large market holding at the moment but is burning cash just to stay alive. That's my 2 cents on Waiter and how that plays out and what that looks like. So for me, guys, I see Waiter at $8. At least $8. I see Waiter, and I think another quarter, another consecutive quarter uh, of positive revenue is going to be fantastic for it. Good morning, Hair. All right. There's BlackBerry at it again. All right. Sorry, I was just I'm setting up for today. I want to put some cash into Waiter, and also ALNA is one that I've been looking at, wanting to put some cash into. By people, it's been me talking about BlackBerry lately, and the reason why I like BlackBerry is they are paired with Amazon. There's a new phone coming out. They have large car software holdings. We're talking hundreds of millions of cars have their software in it. Almost everybody that has those self-drive, lane adjust, auto parking, they use BlackBerry stuff for security. I think Tesla will actually probably take a look at BlackBerry down the road. They're paired with Bell. They're paired with Amazon. They're doing all the right things, and they've made themselves into a software company and less of a hardware company. Even the new BlackBerry phone that's coming out isn't being produced by BlackBerry itself. It's being produced by a company out of Texas that has purchased the rights to make a phone. Amazon partnership is in regards to their AWS as well as their. Hold on, let me find it here. It'll pop up. BlackBerry solutions available on the AWS markets. But yeah, they're paired with Amazon um, for security reasons. They're just doing the right things. They continue to grow partnerships. They're profitable again. I like BlackBerry and what they're doing. I do. For me, they are a long hold. Now, guys, this is one of those 10, 15 year plays. Okay, so BlackBerry right now is sitting at $5. For me, I see it at $50 to $100. I see it at a 10x. So for me, it's like, okay, is that worth holding for 10 years, knowing that it will go to 10 times what it's at? Well, sure, I'll take 10% a year. If it gets there faster, fantastic. Right. Exactly. ALNA will be one I probably look at getting into today with an actual position. This one is kind of nutty for me, guys. This tiny little dollar stock, it's $1.16 right now. Yeah, I mean, you do have to diamond hands it. Here, you want me to? I'll give you some reassurance. All right. So people know that I'm extremely bullish on ACRX. I love its position. I love the play. Here are my holdings, guys, and I don't hide these from anybody. Um, Here's my ACRX. My dollar average is $1.72. Okay, I had 15K Canadian. It's almost 12 grand US that I have in this, and I'm down right now almost $4,000. Right now, a lot of people would be just losing their mind. I'm like, but the reality is, I zoom out. I zoom out. I look at the big picture, and I say, okay, well, what do we actually have going on? What am I actually looking at? And I'm going to come back to ALNY here, but um, let's just zoom out and take a look at ACRX for what it is. And it's like, okay, well, if they are a drug that is supposed to do what it's supposed to do, okay? They're supposed to be this drug that has the grip on it. It's got the ability to sell an opioid to the military, the US Army, the US Navy, the US Air Force. What is that worth? And I look back over a year. Well, it was up around $2 before we knew whether or not they were going to get approval. Now we know they're going to get approval in October when the budgets come out. This is just people waiting on the lull, waiting on the news, waiting on the approval. Like that's all this is right now. Look at the 5 year chart. This is people waiting anxiously. What's going to happen? Are we going to get there? It's at $1.18. My average is $1.73. If it goes to 4, I will have doubled. Right? I will have doubled up in a year. 100% gain. That crushes the SPY. Is that my goal to double up? My price target on ACRX is a little bit higher than that. My price target on ACRX is probably closer to the $6, $8 range. Because I not only do I expect the joint formulary approval, there's been a RFP, a request for proposal, made specifically to ACRX to eliminate fentanyl from the U.S. Army, so that they will use Dasuvi exclusively. Zimmer Biomet was a happy partnership that I didn't see happening. Nobody knew it was going to happen until it dropped. So they have increase in hospital sales, dental sales, plastic surgery sales, military sales, and all of that's coming to fruition into the new year. So my hope is that I get a Christmas bonus and this thing goes to $8. But even if it doesn't, if it goes to 6, I triple. If it goes to 4, I double. That still beats the SPY for the year, right? 100% gain is still a nice little beat. So I mean that's kind of where I am with that. Now ALNY is one that I've been looking at, guys. In biopharma, when you see these little low float dollar stocks or whatever it is, um, oh shoot, it's 6 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to go get some water, and when I come back, we're gonna break down ALNA. Okay. So just 2 seconds here. I'll get this set up. I'll go fill up my water bottle, and I'll be right back. We'll break down ALNY when I get back. ALNA. Oh, okay. So that's a great question. When you're up in a large position, do you trail it or stick to your longer time frame? I'm wheeling stocks over just sitting. I don't wheel. I set my price points. I get out when I get out. I'm an extremely boring trader, guys. I am not the guy that you're gonna see that is watching charts on the second, on the minute. I'm boring. I really am a boring trader, and you know what? At the end of the day, for me, it doesn't matter how fast you move in the market. It doesn't matter how many trades you take. What matters to me is, are you profitable? Are there microtransaction guys that are in and out on ticks all day, up down, up down, up down? Yes. Are they profitable? Some of them, but I bet you a lot more of those guys are blowing up their accounts than the long holds, right? The people that buy long holds, the people that have a job during the day, and when they get home and they collect their paycheck every 2 weeks, and they go, okay, I'm gonna buy Disney, Tesla. That's it. And all they do every paycheck is buy Disney, Tesla, Disney, Tesla. I bet you those people are making a hell of a lot more money than the people that are doing the in out. I'm a day trader. Look at me go. I've got a Robinhood account. I'm here. I'm there. It's just, yeah. Saki, for me, I love this. For me, I love, maybe it's because I love building puzzles when I was younger, but I love looking at the whole picture, right? Looking at the box essentially and going, okay, how am I going to put all these pieces together and make it look like that box? And the reality is, when you see some of this news drop of like, oh, okay, so we see ad spends up on podcasts heading into the election. Okay, well, on the box over here, it says if ad spend is up, all of these companies should be on the box. Okay, great. So let's find all those companies and tie all those pieces together and see what this picture looks like. Oh, this is how all those pieces fit. Great. Now let's create a trading strategy from that. That's how I like to trade. And for a lot of people, they're like, that's too much freaking work. Just buy everything. Buy whatever Davey Day Trader says to buy from the Scrabble bag. Like, oh, all right. I mean, sure, do what you're gonna do. ALNA, Alina Pharmaceuticals, guys. For $1 stock in the bio sector, it is very rare that you are going to see maybe two N's, three N's, right? Two or three analysts on a small stock like this would be pretty shocking. Actually, okay, ACRX is pretty close in price. Yeah, they're almost the same price. ACRX has four on it. Okay, only four analysts on it, and one of them is this guy here that just crushes me, breaks my heart. But it's very rare that you see a ton of analysts on something. This one here has 8 analysts on it. Seven of the eight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 analysts on it. Of these 8, right? Let's sort analysts by, let's say 5-star analysts. No, I want to sort by that. It's not going to let me, is it? Okay. Anyways, so of the 8 analysts that are here, one has a hold rating on it at a 240% gain, and the rest, look at this, 14 days ago, $18 price target, 14 200% increase. You know what I mean? $11 price target on this thing. This is one I want to get a holding. Yeah, got a Google payment. That's on a year. All of those forecasts are 12-year forecasts. So again, guys, always zoom out. Okay, how long? Okay, well you tell me. Yeah, 12 months. All of those analyst forecasts are on the year. 12 months out. So let's say go for the smallest, okay? Look at the most skeptical person on this. The most skeptical analyst is a 4.5-star analyst who says hold at $4. That's a 244% increase over 12 months. SPY does 15. Is that worth it? You would beat the SPY by 220%. Let's say it doesn't hit that. Let's say it hits half that. You would beat the SPY by 115%. What do you think? This is the crap that I wish more people were talking about. It is. This is what I wish people were talking about. It drives me nuts that we're talking about these garbage plays. Right. So Smash Ice gets to the next thing of like, this is appealing. This is, don't get me wrong, this is appealing to see the analysts on it. Now, let's take a look at this. Tip-break investors, analysts are on it, bloggers are on it. Okay, great. Let's read these articles by Zacks. Why does Zacks like this? Okay, so this is talking about earnings estimates. This doesn't tell us what's going on. So let's head back over, and this is where we do the due diligence, guys. So, and therein lies the value of going to these analysts and going, okay, well, what are we looking at here? Are these low float analysts? 44% success rate, 47%, 42%, 43, 44, 51. But these are 5-star analysts. This is the best of the best out there. This is why I love tip ranks, guys. If you haven't checked out tip ranks, I really recommend you get in on it. Is that it? Or is it? That's the one. Go to tip ranks, check it out, see what's going on, because I really love this tool for what it does. And people ask, is that deluxe version really worth it? Yes, it's absolutely worth it. The amount of information that you can peel from this is huge. But let's go to, oh, Roche gets an approval. What's insider activity look like? None. All right. So this is the news, guys. This is what's driving this. It's got an alignment with the FDA on both the design of UROX and its second phase 3 trial of relaxilase in patients with enteric Hyperoxaluria. Okay, so I want to know what that is. So it's a leading cause of kidney disease, having to do with fatty foods that we're consuming. So it's going to affect the American population for sure. It's strategy to pursue a BLA. Morning Dice, how's it going? All right, this was back in 2019, so this is where the hype was. Q1 results. So initial data on their trial is expected Q4. So that's the play on this. Is Q4 you're playing this pipeline. Now, what you have to understand is that all along the way they've been holding hands with the FDA. So that's the play. Do you see the potential in the drug? It is being handheld by the FDA. We expect initial data in Q4 from their trial. If that data hits and it's positive, expect this to soar. ALNA was $15 2 years ago. Yeah, up here, way back at the start. Yeah, for sure. Um, But this is what you see, guys. This is called biodegradation. So what happens is a company comes out, they look really hot to trot, they've got a great drug, they've got a great concept, and then you wait and you wait and you wait. This is why these bio IPOs that come out, guys, I never recommend anybody take a look at a bio IPO unless they're already selling a drug that's on the market. So take a company like CYDY. If it comes into the market and it initially spikes, I'll sell and wait for it to degrade back down until it gets its approvals. Um, But this is the potential of where it could go back to on good data on their Q4. So that's the play. There it is. The choice is whether or not you like that play enough. All right. So that's ALNA. New study. New study. And I mean, the other thing you have to consider is like, okay, well, let's take a look at BlackBerry. BlackBerry was a $15 stock 2 years ago too, right? 10 years ago, it was an $80 stock, right? If we go all the way back, at one point, it was a $200 stock, right? The market is forward facing, and so am I. I don't care where you were before. I want to know where you're going. Oh no, a China hustle. It's a China hustle. Okay, NFL is big news. World Cup globally is being searched. U.S. election searches, unemployment, crime, wages, healthcare, race. So this is kind of cool to see. Trump is still beating Biden on searches. These are the current top searched items. This is DGLY. Exactly. So race comes fifth. This is really cool to see, actually. This is over 8 days. Biden is boring. That's really cool to see. So this is from the 1st of September to the 8th. And this is showing us where these rankings are. So unemployment is the primary concern, hands down. But wages and crime seem to be the ones that are constantly rotating. Now, healthcare is there a little bit, but I think it started September 1st, the month started talking about healthcare, and then it slowly faded. People just don't care as much because we stopped talking about it. We talked about nickel a little bit earlier this morning when I was talking about Tesla around 34 minutes into the video. I'm not watching nickel. I haven't really been not watching nickel. I did the initial review on it because people asked me to, and my initial due diligence on Nikola stands. Without an infrastructure built in the U.S., they are going to flounder and fail. I don't care how many trucks they build. If they don't have a system built to support those trucks, which they don't, then it's at least a 5-10 year out. They just don't have the money. Um, I can click it. I just have to make sure that it doesn't populate on screen. Pause that. So I agree with him that there's potential in hydrogen. I don't agree with his extrapolation that Nikola is going to be the leading impetus for that. I don't. I think a company like FCell is a much better play into hydrogen than Nikola. Um, I'm not opposed to hydrogen being a viable green energy resource, but I am completely opposed to the notion that in any way Nikola is going to be the one to build that infrastructure. I think fuel cell has gone the right way of showing California that they can actually produce profitable green energy, and then I would like to see fuel cell actually expand their infrastructure into other major cities, so Atlanta, New York, Chicago. Um, Portland, and start there and build a power grid. Um, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm there. I'm not discounting hydrogen as a future potential. Actually, I think H3 is going to be a huge potential for us down the road once we start mining the moon. Um, uh, that's going to be SpaceX, in my opinion. In my opinion, SpaceX is that play. Elon will be first to mine the moon, I think. Unemployment is just crushing it. Nothing else is even close. The abortion issue popped up here a little bit, but it's all about unemployment, which, guys, it should be really, really telling. It should. Okay. Unemployment under Obama. Um, 4.7 was Obama's best unemployment rate. Okay. No, I'm not. 3.5. People are like, well, that's not a lot more. It is. It is. A percent and a half? Percent and a quarter, I should say. That's a big difference. I mean, this is just it, guys. As we head into the election, people can talk conjecture all they want. All they want. Yeah, we're not back to normal. And as we head into this election, people are going to think to themselves, okay, I remember I remember when Joe Biden and Obama, I voted them in and they promised me a job. Did they give me a job? Did they create a job for me? And we're looking at the swing states being in the steel belt, being in the industry states, being in the oil states, being across the Midwest. Like there are massive swing states there. Florida, the reality is people are going to stop, pause, and go, okay, did I have a job under Obama after I voted him in? Yes or no? When Trump took office and I either voted for him or I didn't, but Trump was in office, did I have a job before this COVID thing? And I think for a lot of those voters, the answer in their mind is going to be Under this Biden guy, I didn't have a job. Under Trump, I did. So I may not like Trump, but I like being employed better. So I'm going to vote for him. Yeah, but lead vitamin, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what promises he did or did not make because Obama made a ton of promises that he didn't follow through on either. And the guy before him, and the guy before him, and the guy before him. What does matter is this: did I have a job when that old white dude was in office? No. Did I have a job when that old white dude was in office? Yes. Which old white dude am I going to vote for? I'm going to vote for the old white dude that I had a job under. Right? I mean, am I making too far of a leap on that? Now, there's a lot of people that do a lot more due diligence. They're educated. They look into all of the fiscal policy and social economic policies in the current state of. But I'm talking the average American. Is the average American doing a deep dive, or are they going, "I need a job. I want a job. That old white dude didn't get me a job. That one did." Oh man. Well, it ain't gonna be Clinton. I'll tell you that. That lady will never get the wink and the nod again. What's interesting here is the numbers that they have are not same to same. This is a nice report. I like this report. So the way that it works right now, though, is people look at the current unemployment and they don't place it on Trump because they go, well, before COVID hit, I had a job. This is COVID's fault, not Trump's fault. And there's the qualification for that is you look globally, it's not restricted to the US, right? Everywhere in the world, we're seeing layoffs. Every country in the world is having that. So it's not like, well, this is Trump's fault. I don't have a job. It's this is COVID's fault, which is why Trump is pushing so hard for a vaccine to drop before elections because he can say, look at the economy. The economy was up at all time highs. It crashed because of COVID. Everybody lost their jobs. Things look terrible. But look at the market today. The market today is back to all time highs. And I've given you a vaccine in record time to fix this problem. No problem. I did it. I got the job done. And I will get you a job coming out of this. I've been saying Trump for the win. I've been saying it, and I haven't changed my position. I don't flip flop on that. Now, guys, I'm a Canadian, so for me, it's not like, oh, but you're a Republican, you're right leaning. It's like, well, I don't care. I don't have a horse in this race. Like, as a Canadian, we got our own problems up here. But looking objectively at what I see happening, I don't hear Biden talking. I don't hear him making great points. I see him losing in the debates with 40-year track record that is really sketchy at best. I just don't see a situation where Biden crushes it. The numbers Hillary had against Trump were like 70% to 20. Like 71 or 72% of the vote she had in the polls heading in. Biden has like 52 to 49. He is super close to Trump. He's got some serious ground to make up. I Yeah, so Biden by 12. Like he needs to get this number up another 20 points. Oil. With Trump, oil. Yeah, I often take that conversation the next step further. Like, why do you hate Trump? Well, I hate him because he's a racist. Okay, well, I mean, so before his election, guys, here's Trump's lists of um, awards that he received. Okay. Um, Humanitarian Award by the National Jewish Health Committee, Ellis Island from New York, President's Medal for support of youth programs, um, the Muhammad Ali Entrepreneur Award, uh, Diamond Awards, Presidential Hero Award, uh, Israel Award, Marine Corps Award. So I'm trying to find all I'm getting are the search results from the latest years, but for decades, he was a hero of the black communities in New York City. Closely tied to NAACP, received all kinds of rewards for awards for helping the black communities improve themselves in New York City. It was only this narrative of he's a racist following his election to president. Yeah, I saw the Shanghai plant news on Beyond. So Saki actually, when a guy in business, if you see a guy who appoints somebody to a position and fires them when they don't do the job, that's actually a good thing. What's worse is when you see somebody appoint somebody to a position, they don't do the job, and they let them keep the job. That's worse. So Trump has actually been running the U.S. government like a business. That he appoints somebody to a position and they can't do the job, he fires them. He's running it like a CEO instead of like a president, which is probably why he's seeing great financial success. Is he doesn't let somebody continue to do a position poorly. If they don't cut it, he cuts them. Doesn't matter about his relationship with them, how long he's worked with them. Doesn't matter how long they've been in the government. None of that matters. If they're not doing the job, he gets rid of them and brings somebody else in that can do the job until he finds somebody that does the job. It's actually really smart how he's run his cabinet, and Trump doesn't need to do it on his own. That's exactly it, guys. A presidency isn't one person. So while he's being hated and the rest of the country is reaming on Trump, that's fine. He's happy to be the target over here because over here, the government is actually doing all the work that needs to be done without the eye of the press or the people on it, right? So Trump's over here. Look over here. Meanwhile, I'm doing all this over here. Look, no. Don't look at my hand. Look at this hand over here. Don't look over here where we're doing things. Look over here. Look, I'm waving. Oh, is something happening over here? Did I kill a general overseas? Well, now I really need to wave over here because this hand's moving more. This is what you're looking at. It is literally this game, guys. Don't let one hand know what the other is doing. This is the U.S. This is the U.S. political policy at the moment. Which is more distracting, the giant waving hand or the fingers moving? I know that's an oversimplification, but that's literally what's happening day by day. And I do appreciate that you are 52 independent states that are united, and the governors do have a certain amount and a certain amount of authority in regards to decisions that are made. But it seems like the governors at this point in time are looking to pass the buck, which is problematic for them because they want the praise when something goes right, but they're refusing to take the flack when something goes wrong. And so whenever something goes wrong, they blame Trump. And whenever they do something that looks good, it's their doing. And people don't buy that bullshit for too long, right? You can't claim that everything good that has happened is your doing. Everything bad that's happened is on Trump. People don't buy that narrative forever. And this is the funny thing, guys. The more that I say this out loud, I'm hearing a lot of people that go, yeah, but he's Trump and everybody doesn't like him. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, who do you think's going to win? Well, Trump. Like, I, if if the loud spoken narrative is Trump is going to lose, but the unspoken narrative is Trump's looking all right, Trump's probably looking all right. All right, let's see. Markets, stocks, pre-market. Um, so as a Christian, for me, guys, I have never met a Christian that is without sin. It doesn't exist. The Christians are just people like you and me. We're regular people. We've got our own shortcomings. Our beliefs are, despite our shortcomings, somebody died for us on a cross. That's how that works, and we strive to do what's right. We strive to follow those teachings. Now, are we perfect? Nobody's perfect. You're gonna fall short every time. That's how that works. My bigger issue with those that rattle that saber against the evangelicals or against Trump being a Christian or not, my issue with that is let those of you without sin throw the first stone kind of deal, right? Nobody's perfect. Nobody. And if every aspect of your life was monitored by the news every single day, I'm betting that we would probably have some doozy of a headlines as to who or what you're up to and what's going on. For me, I don't think it's pandering. I think he has a genuine belief. Even before he was president, he had a genuine belief. He supported Israel since the 70s. He's been an evangelical since the 70s before it was politically motivated. I do think he's an actual believer. Now, does he say some stupid stuff sometimes? Absolutely. Does he do stupid things sometimes? Absolutely. But we all do. Um, okay, Biosept is up 800% pre-market. Is this a split? Yeah. Okay, so it's split. Micronet is up 31%. Social Reality, Astrotech. Interesting. So there's some outlying tech stocks here. How's our buddy Carnival doing? How's CCL feeling? What is the code on this? Away? Okay, so this thing was created just before the fall. Airbnb? That Airbnb IPO that's coming. What to do with that? All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it for the day. It doesn't look like there's a ton more news flowing in here. Is there anything else you guys want me to take a look at before I dip for the day? I'm more than happy to stick around for this last 15 minutes here if you guys have something that you want me to take a look at. Otherwise, I think we call it, cut it, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. I'll give you guys like 10 seconds here to speak now or forever hold your peace. NVIDIA. Okay, wow, that's quite the fall. They're down $26 to 475. So they're coming back down off of the hype from their chip launch. I think into Q1. Well, it's not the same as AMD because AMD you're playing on a whole bunch of. They still have an announcement upcoming. They still have Q4 results from console sales. Nvidia doesn't really have that. So their RTX 30 chips were sexy, but they are high cost. For me, guys, I like Nvidia where it's at this $500 range, maybe 600. But I don't think Nvidia actually has that much more milk to it. It's a nice long hold. It's not going to really move much from where it is. I think AMD has a lot more juice in it, but that's just my thoughts on it. Um, all right, guys, have an amazing day. Stay green out there. I hope you had a great long weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. If you missed the start of the broadcast, you're just joining us late, no problem. The replay will be available on YouTube, so make sure that you go over there, check it out. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Take it easy.